So, have you ever really stopped to think about it? What happens to your digital self? All your photos, your messages, your entire online life after you're gone? It's a huge question, and honestly, technology is kind of forcing all of us to face it, whether we're ready for it or not. So, let's get into it.
Okay, to really wrap our heads around what's at stake here, I want you to imagine something. Let's start with a scenario that's, well, it's a little unsettling, to be honest. Yeah, just let that sink in for a second. A birthday message from someone who's gone. And look, this isn't some sci fi movie plot. For a growing number of people, this is actually happening. It's a real thing.
So, what's your gut reaction to that? Is it kind of comforting or is it just creepy? That feeling right there, that weird mix of warmth and just unease, that's exactly what this is all about. This is the strange new world of our digital afterlife.
Right. So that weird birthday message, it's not just some one-off thing. It's actually part of this huge global phenomenon. I mean, the sheer scale of what we are all leaving behind online, it's absolutely staggering.
You can almost think of them as, well, digital ghosts. These aren't just lines of code. For the people who are still here, they're like little time capsules. A collection of pictures, old jokes, memories that just randomly pop up on your timeline. It's like an echo of a life that's ended, but a digital presence that just hasn't.
And check this out. This is wild. Projections are showing that by around 2070, Facebook could have more dead users than living ones. Just think about that for a second. The biggest social network on the planet is on its way to becoming the world's largest digital graveyard. That completely flips what these platforms are even for.
Okay, but just having old inactive profiles hanging around, that's just the start. This is where things get way more complicated and, frankly, a lot weirder. We're now talking about tech that's being designed to, and I'm using quotes here, digitally resurrect people from their data. So how in the world does that even work? Well, it's basically a two-step deal. First, some company gathers up a giant pile of your digital footprint. We're talking everything, your texts, your emails, all your social media posts. Then they feed all that stuff into an AI to train a chatbot that can mimic your personality, your sense of humor, the way you phrase things. The idea is that your family could, theoretically, talk to you long after you're gone. And that brings up a really deep question, right? Would you want this? Is this some new kind of immortality, a beautiful way to stay connected to the people you love? Or does this just cross a major ethical line? Does creating this digital echo stop people from ever really moving on? Okay, let's make this super personal for a minute. Just think about it. You don't even have to look at your phone. What were like your last 5 text messages? Were they these deep, meaningful conversations? Or were they more like, don't forget the milk, a funny gif, and running 5 minutes late? And that right there, that's the whole problem in a nutshell. I mean, the real you is complicated. You've got hopes, fears, all these private thoughts that you would never, ever type out. The version of you that an AI builds, it's just a shallow copy, pieced together from your digital breadcrumbs. Can we really call that you? Okay, so whether that digital ghost is a perfect replica or just a cheap imitation, there's a huge practical problem we have to talk about. Once you're gone, who's in charge of it? Who holds the keys? I mean, really? Who owns your digital self after you die? Who gets control of all your data, your pictures, your private messages? Who gets the keys to your entire digital life? Right now, it's a total legal mess. Is it the tech companies? After all, they're storing all the data. Does it go to your family like a piece of property? Or do you get to decide what happens? The truth is, the law is playing a frantic game of catch-up with the tech. And if you want to understand what's really at stake, just picture this. Imagine, years from now, your grandkids just casually scrolling through your entire Google Drive, reading all your private DMs. Sure, some of that might be sweet, but let's be honest, a lot of it was probably never meant for them to see. And that's the new reality of digital inheritance. So when you take all this stuff, the digital ghosts, the AI chatbots, the huge questions about who owns what, it all comes down to one fundamental choice. A choice that, honestly, every single one of us is going to have to think about. For basically all of history, death was, well, death. It was a clear, final line. But now, that line is getting super blurry. Our digital footprints are mixing up memory with this weird new kind of immortality, and it leaves us with two totally different paths to choose from.
So on one side, you've got the choice to just vanish. A clean break. Your data gets deleted, your online presence is erased, and that's it. But on the other side, you can choose to linger, to leave behind this digital monument, this collection of memories that your loved ones can visit, maybe forever.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with a choice. Look, there's no right answer here, and how you feel about it might even change. But this question, it's not some far-off hypothetical anymore. In this world where our data will definitely outlive our bodies, you have to ask yourself, are you going to vanish completely, or will you choose to linger in the cloud forever?